We're going to look at synthetic division again. I've changed the question a little bit, so it looks a little crazy. So here I have the function of p is x to the fifth minus 2x cubed minus x squared plus 2. And this function, q of x, is x minus 3. So I want to know, what is p of x divided by q of x? Well, p of x divided by q of x is the same as this divided by this, like we saw in the previous video. So I'm just going to write that out. So this is the same as substituting the equation to look like this. That's all that's asking. So when we do this, we have to remember that we're going to do synthetic division. This is what we're dividing by, so we have to turn this into a 0. So then that means I'm going to take x minus 3 equals 0, which becomes x equals 3. So that's what I'm going to put on the outside of my synthetic division. Okay, so now I'm going to write this in. I want to make sure I have all of my exponents, and I'm glad I looked at this because when I first looked at it I thought I had. So remember, we have ax to the fifth plus bx to the fourth plus cx cubed plus dx squared plus ex plus f. Okay, so this is a fifth degree polynomial, so in standard form it would look like this. Look at our exponents: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and none. So let's just write this underneath here. So this would be x to the fifth would go here, negative 2x cubed goes here, minus x squared goes there, and then plus 2 goes here. So notice we have some holes here. So this would be plus 0x to the fourth, and this would be plus 0x. So it's very helpful to write that out, because initially when I looked at this, I thought they were all there, but once I write them out, I see I need some placeholders. The coefficient in front of this x to the fifth is 1. So I'm going to write 1, 0, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 2. I'm going to write them all out like that. Now remember, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down my first number, which is 1. Then I multiply the things on the outside, I add the things on the inside. So 3 times 1 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Negative 2 and 9 is 7. 3 times 7 is 21. Negative 1 plus 21 is 20. 3 times 20 is 60. 0 plus 60 is 60. 3 times 60 is 180. 2 plus 180 is 182. So just like I did in my previous video, I'm going to make sure that I know that this here is my remainder. So notice I have a remainder of 182. So let's write what these things are underneath. I like working backwards. This is my remainder. This here is my constant. This here is my x. This is my x squared term. This is my x cubed term. And this is my x to the fourth term. So that means if I'm going to rewrite this out, it would be x to the fourth plus 3x cubed plus 7x squared plus 20x plus 60. And for right now, I'm going to say we have a remainder of 182. We're going to do something with that in a minute. The other thing I want to point out is the exponents. Notice I started out with a fifth degree. I divided by a first degree. so I should have 1 degree less. So when I do my synthetic division, when I divide my first term by an x, I should be 1 degree less. So that's another way to make sure that you check that your answer should be 1 degree less than what you started from. Okay, so I don't want to leave my answer like this because this here is kind of elementary. So I don't know if you remember when we did long division back in 5th grade. We may have done this in 4th grade and then we made it a little bit more sophisticated in 5th grade. So my answer would be x to the 4th plus 3x cubed plus 7x squared plus 20x plus 60, and I have a remainder. I'm going to write it as a fraction. So it's going to be 182 over my factor of x minus 3. Both of these answers are correct. This one here is a little bit more sophisticated. Okay? So sometimes you'll see your answer like that. So the last thing I'm going to point out, and I hope this doesn't confuse you, I'm going to change this question a little bit. So if I just looking here and I asked you what is P of 3, you would say it is 182. Okay? So that's my remainder of 182 right here. Okay, so that tells me, because what did I do? I divided by the 0 of 3. So essentially, if I were to substitute 3 in for all these x's, I should get 182.